Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about something on Warrior I just found out from a friend, Katsui. You may know him as the guy who hit fucking, what is it at this point, 135k on the Mage tournament for Cindy? Regardless. It's a Warrior thing. So, it's something, and it's embarrassing, honestly, that I didn't think of it myself. And I'm betting that it's probably pretty unknown. I'm sure a few people know about it, but it is, I think, something widely unknown. Not because pretty much no one plays Warrior. The main build is all left, though Tier 4, honestly, I think Blessing of Might's better. The extra 10% or whatever it is that people have actually calculated out to. I just say 10% because that's what I've always known it as, and I don't really need to know the specifics. It makes me do more damage. Makes the players do more damage. And then I also run Intimidate instead of Improved Rush. But Improved Rush is good, and I will switch to that for occasion, but I like Intimidate more for the crit chance. But, yeah, Righteousness, Improved Slam, and Overheal. Counterattack, honestly not that good, even for the charge magical damage resist. Now, the reason why I'm embarrassed about this is how it's something that gives you more provoke heals, and it combines directly with overheal. So, like, when you're provoking, you get extra overheal shield, which is really good, and since you're healing more, you get extra aggro. Now, what y'all probably are thinking I'm talking about is some kind of like Ice Heart or something like that, but a few astute warriors probably know exactly what I'm talking about, though I doubt the number is many. I'm talking about First Strike, and then I have rolled my weapon from Unbending Charge Strikes to First Strike Charge Strikes. Now, why would First Strike be any good on Warrior? Well, I mean, at first, it doesn't look that good. When you attack an enemy, you get a crit if they're on full health, which for Warrior isn't really that good. I mean, you get a little extra damage, but you're mostly blocking with your shield anyway. If you were going for... You couldn't even go for like a Cindy Parse with it. There's no reason to run First Strike, normally. How most people interpret things like First Strike and Ice Heart is, when attacking the enemy, if the enemy meets some condition, then it does some effect. For instance, Ice Heart, if the enemy is slowed, increase the damage by 5%. For First Strike, if the enemy is full health, then most people for First Strike think that it's just the first hit you do in combat. No, it's based on if the enemy is full health, which is why it's banned in Cindy Parses, because you'd have, like, god tier crit luck. And by crit luck, I mean no crit luck, because it's all guaranteed. But the real thing is that it's when the enemy is at full health, the attack will be guaranteed crit. It's simple, right? But why is that good on Warrior specifically? Out of all the other classes, like Scoundrel, obvious benefit, you get your Gambler stacks quicker. That's honestly... Shaman, even with... I guess Shaman, you get the guaranteed... I wonder how it would work on Shaman. I think that might actually need to be tested. But maybe Shaman and Scoundrel are the only ones that you would normally think of to benefit from First Strike. Especially Scoundrel if you play PvP. But Warrior is a lot less obvious. Provoke Heal, what it does is, when you do the provoke combo, you get a small amount of health. Simple effect. Now, how that reads in the code is that For instance, my name, Richlith, will be Richlith did negative, let's say, 10,000 damage to Richlith. And with that, by technicality, according to the code, I am attacking myself with negative damage, which is me healing myself. It makes sense. Combine that with First Strike on Warrior, and when you're at full health, all your provoke heals are guaranteed to crit, which already is good for aggro, because extra health from provoke heal equals more aggro, because healing aggro is a thing. So you'll find it a bit easier to keep aggro when you're at full health. But that's not the main reason it's good. Normally, you'd say, what's the big deal? I mean, you're only getting the extra guaranteed crits at full health. There's no point for that. But remember, on Warrior, the Overheal talent, any healing you receive while at full health will be partially transferred to your shield. I.e., when First Strike is proccing, you are also proccing Overheal. Also meaning that since you have to be at full health for both of them to work, they both work at the same time, meaning all Overheal, all the shield you regain from Overheal is boosted by the crits. Which is why I say crit damage, that's weird. I'm gonna swap my armor to make it work. That's why crit damage is a good roll on Warrior gear. Which I believe I still have to reroll my head, but crit damage is really good, especially the crit damage for the crit heals. That's the main reason I run Intimidate. But with Overheal, since you're getting that extra shield health, you get so much extra shield just because your provokes are, 1.6 times more effective at healing you? That is the biggest increase for healing for any real thing, any kind of damage increase in the entire game. Crits give you the most damage, and crits are where where the highest DPS lies. Getting lucky with crits. That's what it always comes down to. So for Warrior, having your shield health be guaranteed to be 1.5, 1.6 times better makes your healing your Overheal just so much more effective. And you may be like, okay, but how can you prove that this is happening? Well, a couple tools, really. First, we can check the combat log. The combat log tells us everything we need to know about healing. So, this is what healing looks like, a provoke heal looks like to the code. Richlith took negative 15,000 damage from Richlith, and it's a crit. And if you look at all of the heals, you can see that they are all criticals. I can believe a lot of these, but getting this many crits in a row, and you can see it's guaranteed, getting this many in a row? Not happening. Not happening, especially when it's 15,000 health points. Now, yes, you're not getting that when you actually need health, but you're getting it for Overheal. And if we look at Cindy, we can see that without pots, I'm healing 21,000 per second. Alone. No renew, no nothing. Renew on top of that, with shield and all that kind of stuff, you'd be getting 30,000, maybe, per second? And remember, if you're at full health, that renew is also going onto your shield. So, for a lot of bosses, you might be able to just flat out not break your shield. Maybe not on a 15, but on maybe like 1 through 10, especially if you have a strong healer. And like, forget about it if you're in like a raid and have a bard as well, because that increases your healing with the Cure Wounds buff that bard has. Meaning your shield, as long as there isn't a tank buster, is pretty much never going to die. That's how busted First Strike is. Yes, if you're running First Strike Charge Strikes, which is the optimal loadout, you are giving up Unbending. Yes, you have to be a bit more careful. But with all this extra healing, you can afford a lot more mistakes. It embarrasses me that I didn't think of it, but it just shows how much Katsui is kind of a genius. At least whoever he got it from. I don't know if he thought of it himself or if he got it from someone else, but just goes to show sometimes things can be used in unintended ways. First Strike on Warrior being really god tier. That is the end of this video. I hope you found First Strike to actually be as amazing as I do now, despite only using it for like a day, and I haven't even used it on a boss yet, but I can tell from those Cindy parses that, oh yeah, this gives a lot of healing. A lot of overheal. I hope that this allows you to play Warrior just that much more effectively.